Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here I am with another episode for you guys with Project Mark 7. Now, a lot of you guys saw the video of the wheel reveal, or the wheels going over the specs of the wheels, and you noticed that the front lip was not on the car anymore. So today we're going to be unboxing, doing a product review, and also installing the all-new V2 Street front splitter for the Mark 7 GTI. Okay, so before we get started with the installation and everything, before I want to do that, what I want to do is I want to take a time out and open this box, because I heard packaging is a lot better. I heard that this new design of the splitter and also the new material that is made with it. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and open this box up and show you what it's about right now. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna open this up. And before we even get started, there's a bunch of labels on here, the same as last time with the old splitter, and also fragile handle with care logo on the side. So this way, when it's shipped, it doesn't get bent, it doesn't get damaged, it doesn't get thrown around. But let's open this up. Okay, so the first part of this kit is actually the reinforcement brace for the splitter. Aerofabb actually calls it the Aero brace. And the reason for this is to give the spoiler extra rigidity. So it distributes the load for the downforce. And you know, it's supposed to actually give it that extra bracing. It's not a chassis brace, but it actually gives the splitter the actual brace that it needs to actually achieve speeds, for instance, like 120, 130 miles an hour. This splitter is actually with the Aero brace actually has been tested at 140 plus miles an hour with no drag, with no pull down, and no vibrations from the front of the car. And also, if you look up close, look at the actual logo, Aerofabb's logo inside of the actual brace itself. You're never gonna see this. It sits behind the grill. It's gonna sit behind the grill, but it's cool that they actually add this factor into it. Makes you feel like you have a good quality part. Of course, Aerofabb would not be Aerofabb with the absolute lit instructions. So we do have everything here, from what's included with the kit, the drill points, everything that you're gonna need regarding the hardware. And also you get pictures of exactly how everything's supposed to line up with the bolts and washers and everything. And also pictures of how everything's supposed to look on the actual bumper. So that's pretty cool. We have instructions. So the next part up is the actual main aspect of this kit, which is the actual splitter itself. This is the new Street splitter from Aerofabb. As you can see, this is made out of a new US made high impact plastic. Also, the fact that it only comes in one color, so that gloss black finish is gone and it's completely matte with this nice textured top to it. Really nice, really high quality piece. As you can also know, you also see here that you do have the pre-existing drill holes. So all you have to do, we'll actually talk more about that when we actually install the product for you. But one thing I really do like is their etching of the badge. Same as last time, but the cool thing about this is that it's actually pocketed in. Normally, any other company would have actually put this in the, just riveted on top and not really care about it. They actually made an indentation in here, so this actual badge sits flush with the bumper. I mean, sits flush with the actual splitter. So this is a pretty cool material too. It is a little bit thicker as well, so this is very durable. I'm sure this is the reasoning of why the brace is going to be needed, because this is a thicker material. All right, another thing I really do like about this, just to make sure that this keeps its shape, my guy used wood with screws to make sure that this box doesn't bend or anything. Don't have to do that, but it's cool that it's done. Aerofabb takes the level of making sure that the product is packaged correctly, to make sure that it's not damaged when you get it in the mail, or you have to return it and get another one, and the experience wouldn't be as great. But like this company goes to the actual limits of making sure that you get a good quality part from the actual material of the product itself to the packaging. So you know what, let's see what else is in here. And of course, the last thing in here is that you have metric stainless steel all hardware. And of course, aerofabb likes to give you a sour patch. When you finish installing, you got a little sugar rush, you can pop one of these and you're good to go. But we have all the mounting kits here, and obviously as you see A, B, C. So now the instructions will give you A, B, and C of where the hardware goes. You follow the bags along with that procedure and you should be good to go. But you know what? I actually want to show you something really cool about this splitter that really got my attention on it. So you guys asked me that question, Jay, you took the splitter off. Why is the splitter off? Is something wrong with the splitter? The splitter's right here. This is the original splitter that was on the car. If you guys don't remember that track day that I did in Montreal, you guys know that I hit a cone. And as a result of impacting a cone, this is with aluminum. So as you can see here, this is just a different type of composite sandwiched between two pieces of aluminum. So when you impact it, or when you bend it, so like this, so for instance, if you take this up and you lift this up like this, right? Now, I don't want to hear nothing from you guys right now, but if you do this to the splitter, that's it. The splitter's done. If you try to bend this back, it's never gonna get its original shape again because you have aluminum. So unfortunately, that's what happens when you bend or impact with this splitter. So unfortunately, that's trash. But when you have the new Street B2 aerofabb splitter, this is what happens, right? So I'm gonna take this splitter and I'm gonna bend it 90 degrees like this. And when I let go, you guys see, I'm not BSing you. Takes its original shape. So this is why I love this thing so much. I'm gonna do that one more time, because that's the main reason of why I like this product. Like literally, I'm bending the crap out of it with a lot of force. Takes its original shape again. So this is why I love this material so much. So when you're scraping on the driveway, or when you accidentally hit something with the splitter, you're not gonna actually ruin the structure of the actual splitter itself. I'm glad that we had this conversation. I'm glad that I was able to review this with you guys. But the main factor of this is that we need to get this on Project Mark 7. So let's go. Okay guys, so you already know that we went through the unboxing. We went over the product review of the actual splitter itself with the arrow brace and the hardware. You guys know what's coming in the box. You guys know what you're gonna get when you order this piece. So now it's time to put it on Project Mark 7. But I'm not gonna go through the process of showing you how to take off this bumper. We're actually gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna do a time lapse real quick so you guys get to see this in 3, 2, 1. Without that time lapse, it took literally about 7 minutes to take the bumper off, if you're familiar with it. But we're not teaching you how to take the bumper off, we're teaching you how to put this splitter on. So let's go ahead and get those instructions. Even though it is simple to do it without the instructions, I want to read the instructions because you might miss a step. The cool thing about these instructions is, like I said before, see these letters here? These letters signify what hardware you're going to use. So for instance, A bolts in the corner, you use the A bag. B bolts, B bag. C and D, so on and so forth. So you have those here, and we're gonna go ahead and start and putting this on. Another good thing about aerofabb, they use pre-existing holes that are already mounting points in the bumper so that you can get the splitter mounted first and then put the hardware in. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that right now. All right, so as you guys can see here, we actually put the A bolt in on this side. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and we're going to move to the next step. All right, so now we got the A bolts lined up. The good thing about this is that all my splitters now lined up, ready to go. So I can pretty much just, now I can go ahead and drill the bits out that I need. All these holes here against the bumper, everything's lined up exactly where it's going to be. So you know what? We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start drilling. Another time lapse in 3, 2, 1, let's drill. So good, we got all the holes drilled. Was again no time at all. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to the instructions, and as you guys can see here, B bolts are going to be different than C bolts, and C bolts are going to be different than D bolts. We have all those differentiated throughout the pattern here of how I drilled. So all you need to do now, bolt everything up and bolt that arrow brace as well with it on the back end side. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Everything what we're going to do here after this, you just follow the instructions. So if the next step says B hardware, you make sure that you have that hardware. It should be in its own separate bag, as well as it tells you how to space it out. So it says that, for instance, this one is the bolt, then you have the washer, then you have the splitter, then you actually have the actual other spacer, the bumper, and then you actually have the nut and the hand side, and you tighten everything down. So we're gonna go ahead and follow through the steps throughout this entire procedure, and then the next clip that you're gonna see is us installing the arrow splitter on the back end of the bumper, and then we'll reinstall the bumper, and then you get to see the finished product. I got a little bit of sunlight left. It is winter and the sun is going down, so I'm not trying to rush through this. I'm just making sure that you guys understand everything, but I'm giving you thorough instructions with it too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get these bolts mounted in. Let's go. All right, so what we're going to be doing is now we're actually going to be installing the arrow, the arrow brace along with the hardware for B, because it wants B done first. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. I need to pull this bumper a little to the edge, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And here you go. So as you guys can see, there's the arrow brace bolted up to the bottom. Looks so robust. Aerofabb wasn't kidding with that arrow brace, because I still haven't bolted up the C and D bolts up yet, but this isn't going anywhere. Like I'm really tugging on it. That's not going anywhere. So I mean, all I gotta do is the corners now, which is 4 per corner with the A and C and D bolts. But then other than that, I mean, pretty much got a complete kit here. So let's go ahead and finish this up, and then we're gonna head and bolt the C and D bolts, and everything else should be completed, and then we'll put the bumper back on the car, and I can't wait to show you guys the final product. So let's go. All right guys, so after all that bolting, and as you can see I'm fighting with the light, Didn't take me that long at all. It took me about an hour and a half just to read through the instructions and make sure of everything. Make sure you read the instructions carefully, especially for this arrow brace part. There's a lot of parts that go in between it. You know, so you want to make sure that it's in the instructions. Make sure you read them carefully. But without further ado, I'm ready to show you some glamour shots, but first we need to get this on the car. So without further ado, let's put Project Mark 7 back together, because she's looking like brace face right now. She's not looking that great. So without further ado, let's get it on the car. I love the way that this looks, and literally that's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. Like that's on there like really well. So as you can see, everything lines up perfectly. There's the spaces inside of there if you can see it. Like I said, that's not going anywhere. And look at the, excuse my bumper, it's a little beat up. The aerofabb badging that's flushed inside of everything, nice and flushed inside. Continuing on to this side, so it's all bolted up, it's nice and flat throughout the entire thing, and we're good to go. Well guys, like I said, I know it was a bit long, but I wanted to give you guys a full rundown of the new aerofabb V2 Street front splitter for the Mark 7 GTI. So definitely he's done a lot with this platform and done a lot with this splitter. This thing's not going anywhere. So you know what guys, it's going to conclude this video. So I need you guys to do 3 things for me. I need you guys to like the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I need you to share this content along with your friends, or maybe yourself or anyone else who's interested in getting aerofabb products for their vehicle. And also I need you to subscribe to JR14 to get notifications every time you get a video like this installation on Project Mark 7 or other content as well. So without further ado guys, have a good one and good night, because there is no more light. And remember, cars are a lifestyle.